Let's talk about money. Most men think that they're broke because of these things: the economy, their job, their boss, bad luck. What do those things have in common? They're outside of your control. So let's be honest, it's not the real reason. Because in the same economy, with the same opportunities, there are men building wealth. There are men staying stuck. So what is the difference between those who are building and those that are stuck? And I'm going to break that down for you today. The real reasons why most men stay broke. And it might not be what you want to hear. So the first reason is simple: a lack of ownership. Most men today do not take full ownership for their own situation. I know, because I was this guy. I had to go through this process myself. When I went through a separation with my baby mama, I wanted to blame her. I wanted to blame life. I wanted to blame God. I wanted to blame external things. It feels good, but it keeps you stuck and it keeps you in victim mentality. And so I had to go through a process of about 12 months of taking responsibility for everything, looking inwards and doing the really hard work of finding exactly where I was leaking that ownership outwards. And that is where a lot of men are today. They blame external factors, the system, their upbringing, their circumstances. And while those things can matter and you can be right about those situations and those things, they don't determine your outcome. Ownership is the moment a man says, my life is my responsibility. And without that shift, nothing will change. Now, the second thing is most men never actually develop a skill that is actually valuable in the marketplace. We have been grown up in the era of be who you want to be, you're loved for whoever you are, you're fine just the way you are. All wrong and will all leave you stuck. You need to develop value in this world. You are a man. Men are not inherently valuable. We have to build value. And every single time I talk to my clients about this, every single time I get a young man who is stuck, who is struggling, and I tell him and I deliver this message, you see a weight lift off his shoulders. You go, okay, I can do this. You're right. I knew this was right, but I've been delivered this message my whole life that I'm fine the way that I am, but I don't feel fine the way that I am. I know women aren't looking at me. Men don't respect me. Okay. I'm broke. I'm miserable. You deliver a message of you're fine the way you are to those guys, and it doesn't land the way that people hope it lands. It comes from a good place, but it doesn't help. Certainly doesn't help boys become men. It certainly doesn't help men become better men. You have to build value. You cannot rely on average jobs with capped income, with no leverage, no scalability. If you want to make serious money, you need to become valuable. Learn sales, learn marketing, learn business, learn to trade, learn about technology and AI. Men who make money solve problems. Men who stay broke avoid developing real skills. One of the best bits of business advice that I got when I was just starting out 9-10 years ago was solve rich people's problems, they pay better. And I'm so grateful I heard that advice, because it launched my company, Prince to King, probably 6 or 12 months after I heard that. And I went, you know what? Who do I want to target? Who do I want to work with? I want to work with high-performing men. I want to work with high-performing young men and helping them overcome self-sabotage. And high-performing men typically are doing well in their lives. They come from high-performing families. There's money there. And so it was a really great business decision for me, because instead of going out there like a lot of coaches do and trying to work with people and just being bet with, I don't have the money, I don't have the money, I don't have the money, right? I knew my market, my niche, the men that I could help most were the younger versions of me. Cool. Now I came from a little bit of money, very grateful for that. And so that allowed me to understand that niche really well and build a multiple 6-figure business from the ground up over the last 6 years through a lot of economic hardships, COVID, and now we've got fuel crisis and hantavirus and all this other bullshit the Matrix is shoving down our throats. People are struggling, but my business is still able to turn over a profit because the people that I'm working with have money. Okay, so solve rich people problems, they pay better. Short-term thinking, let's talk about this. Most men are addicted to short-term comfort. Video games, porn, Uber Eats, right? They're spending their money instead of investing it. Scrolling instead of building. Choosing entertainment over education. So wealth is built through long-term thinking, delayed gratification, consistency over years and years, decades and decades. But most men never stay consistent long enough to actually see the results. Add in the next one, which is the poor environment, right? Your environment shapes your standards. If you're surrounded with men who are broke, complain, blame the system, avoid responsibility, you will adopt the exact same mindset. However, the same is true when you surround yourself with men who are building, growing, and leveling up. Your standards will rise automatically. You'll look left and look right and go, oh shit, I gotta go. I gotta get some movement. Most men stay broke because they never change that environment. Now, another simple one, but they lack discipline. Money is a byproduct of discipline. Being financially disciplined is important. Discipline when you don't feel like it. Discipline to learn those new skill sets. Discipline to stay focused. Discipline to delay gratification. Discipline to say no to your friends when they want to go out and stay home and study. Without discipline, you will not succeed. Opportunities will get wasted. Now, another one, avoiding risk. At some point, building wealth requires risk. Starting something, investing, putting yourself out there. Life is rife with risk. You can't avoid it. But most men now are choosing safety. They're choosing to stay comfortable and in comfortable situations that limit their growth. And over time, that comfort becomes a trap. That safety becomes a trap. Okay, particularly for the guys that I work with who come from money, who come from good upbringings, right? Who come from these multi-million-dollar mansions. Now, this isn't to say boo-hoo to these guys. I want to make that very clear. But if you are a young man where you're like, yeah, my parents did really well and they do give me a lot of stuff, it kills your growth. It kills it because why go out? Why go out and hunt when there's a pig already on the table? Why go out and claim territory when your father has built a nice little kingdom of his own? Okay, so you need to fight that comfort. You need to step out. You need to leave the safety of the home and the nest and go out into the wilderness and go into the world and claim your own territory as a man. Now, one of the most common things I work with and hear from young boys and young men is that they have no direction. They don't know what their purpose is. A man without a plan will drift financially because he's going to react instead of executing. He earns, he spends. He earns, he spends. He earns, he spends. Without a clear direction, money comes and goes and you're not building anything meaningful in the meantime. Wealth requires intention, a plan, a budget, a target. Finish up, most men don't stay broke because they can't succeed. They stay broke because they never build the habits, the skills, and the mindset to succeed. The good news is every single one of those things are within your power to change, but only if a man decides to take full ownership of his life. Remembering back to dot point one. So if you're a man who wants to build discipline, income, and a powerful life, come join us at the Apex Order. Click the link below. It is a brotherhood of men focused on growth, accountability, and real-world results. It is free to join. We have upgrade tiers where you get more and more access to courses, programs, calls with me. But if you want more conversations like this about money, about masculinity, about leveling up, subscribe to the channel because we are only just getting started.